What's going on, everyone? So, first and foremost, if this is your first time watching one of my videos, let me first explain what my channel is all about. My main goal and purpose of this channel is to educate, inform, and share the knowledge that I have gained over the course of 23 years of being in business. With that being said, if you're a person that watches my videos weekly, the next video will be more of the norm. We're going to jump right into this, and I want to first go off by saying that this video is not about bad-mouthing other companies. If I see it in the comments down below, it won't be tolerated. The comments are going to be deleted. I actually went as far as actually covering the logos too on this sensor and this setup. So if you have a newer Civic, newer Accord, a newer Type R, and any other vehicle that potentially can run a setup, flex fuel setup like this, you're going to want to keep watching. So what we've been experiencing and what our clients have been experiencing, at least a handful now, for about 2 months, is this is failing. And when this starts to fail, what we have been seeing is it starts reading a higher ethanol percentage, which could potentially cause damage to your engine. Now, I'm not going to go into the whole details about how E85 works or E30 works or ethanol in general, but I will say please educate yourself. I'll include some links down below that you can watch other videos on. What I'm going to try to do here is explain what we're seeing. If you are potentially maybe having an issue, how you can check, or if you're not having an issue, how you can still check because you want to be on top of these things. If you are a client of ours and you have bought this from us, or you have been tuned by us, contact us directly, rcautoworks@gmail.com. Please include the either order number or the invoice number, and we will start the whole process at that point. Now, if you're not a client of ours and for whatever reason you can't get help and you need help and you're looking for it, you can also email us. We can walk you through some steps. If you want us to check and look into things ourselves, well, there is going to be a slight charge on that because time is money. Now, let's go into a little bit of information. I'm going to really dumb everything down here because I don't know how much everybody knows about automotive stuff, but this is a flex fuel sensor that will report the ethanol content back to your computer, and ultimately your computer will make the changes that it needs to change. When you read a higher ethanol percentage, to keep it really simple, your car requires more fueling and also allows you to run more timing. Now, with that being said, the big problem is if you're running more timing than what you potentially have in your car, if it's reading the wrong ethanol percentage, you could potentially cause damage. Now, let me go over a couple things that you might notice right off the bat. Number one, the simplest one, drivability issue. Now, I'm going off of what some of our clients, customers have told us, and I'm going to try to explain to you. If your car's ever been tuned somewhere, and it's been tuned well, and everything is done and finalized, that tune will never ever change, and it will never ever need changing unless two reasons. One, you make a change in your setup. So let's say you get a different intake or different injectors, then you're going to need a retune. The only other way that anything else will ever need to be changed or messed with in the tune is if something were to fail. Not just a sensor, a flex fuel sensor, but anything in general. Let's say you have a turbo that's failing or a downpipe that has a flex section that is collapsing. Well, you shouldn't change the tune. You should figure out first what's causing it to be off and different. That's the thing too I want to address and make sure it's perfectly clear. If something seems to be different in the tune, a week later, 2 weeks later, 3-4 years later, figure out what's going on with the problem first. Don't change the tune because all you're going to do is band-aid or camouflage that problem that you're having. With that being said, if you're not having a drivability issue and you want to still check to make sure you're not having any problems with your flex fuel sensor, some of these flex fuel sensors go off of Bluetooth and you could read directly on your phone your ethanol percentage. Now, I'm going to include another video, and what you guys are going to have to understand here, guys and girls, majority of gas, unless it's ethanol free, is going to have about 10% ethanol in it. If you've been putting nothing but 93 octane in your car and all of a sudden you're reading 50% ethanol, well, then you know you have an issue. And it can be swapped around. If you've been putting an E30 blend in your car, you mix it in your house, your garage, and you know it's E30, and now you're reading less than that, well, it's something to look into. Some other stuff that can pop up for you. Check engine lights. You may see a code P0172, and yes, I have notes because I don't want to forget. P0172 is your car's running too rich. You might see a code like that. You could also see a P0171, which means your car is running too lean. Now, I say you may see this because some tuners disable certain check engine lights. I myself try not to disable anything that's going to help us out in the future. We have been seeing this where customers will call us and said, hey, the car's been fine for months or years, and now I'm throwing a P0172. We look into it, we data log it, we see the issue. So the other stuff that you might be noticing is your K count or your K control is starting to raise. It's never raised before. We've had some customers think that they had a bad batch of gas, and that's not the case. The other thing too, if your car seems like it's driving fine, but you're now getting, your gas mileage is going down and it seems to just be running a little bit differently, well, the other ways that you can check is if you have K-Tuner V2, you can go on the screen, you can actually change that on the screen and you can read your ethanol percentage, or you can take a data log in the actual setup. With that being said, I think I covered everything. I'm going to include some videos. You're going to see the erratic reading that we've been seeing. And in the one video, the ethanol was reading way higher than it should have been. And we fixed the issue. You're going to see in the other videos I'm going to do. I think I covered it all. I had notes here because I wanted to make sure that I didn't miss anything. If I did miss anything, or if I didn't touch on something and you want me to, hey, can you cover this? I can cover it in the next couple videos. Please comment down below. You can reach out and email me too if you don't want to comment. If you want to email me and you want everything to be kept private, it will be kept private. rcautoworks@gmail.com. I believe I covered everything I wanted to cover. This could be a serious problem and a serious issue. We thought the first couple customers it was kind of a fluke. Now that we're not only seeing more and more customers of ours telling us that, hey, yeah, something's going on. We posted a picture on our Facebook about 2 weeks ago, roughly, and we had a bunch of people also reach out and share some information with us. We're just going to leave it at that. So that's about it. The next couple clips are just going to be trying to explain the failure, another way to look at it, take it apart, go from there. Thanks for watching. I'm sure I'll cover this again and I'll go over my emails again because that's what I like to do. I like to get it different portions in case you skip through the video. So I'm actually going to hold the camera because it's a lot easier for me to focus on where I want to focus. So this is a sensor I just had prior in my hand. I took the 2 screws off, and what we're going to be focusing on is this piece. Now, keeping in mind, I can only share our experience. You might have had a different experience. This is just to share what we've been dealing with. We've been trying to get a hold of the company and get them on the phone to see if this is going to be something that is going to continually happen. Seeing how now that we have a handful of customers that have been affected, I'm going to assume that this is not going to be the last time that we're talking about this, unfortunately. So I can say what we're seeing here and what we believe is happening is this piece is ultimately failing. And what we're trying to show you, and if you have this on your car and you feel you can take it off, you can take this piece off. And what we're trying to focus on here is the inside part. You can see how much this is filled up and how it goes up to this portion. What I have right here is a bad one. You can see how it almost looks like it's melted. A lot of it is just gone. You can see how once this was probably covered all the way almost to the top. Now, I'm not saying that if you pull yours off and it looks like this, that it means it's failed. I'm only sharing our experience and what we're seeing and what we're trying to figure out and help our clients with. So that's it in a nutshell. This, as I said, video was for our clients because we know a lot of them are running the same setup, and we know that there's also a lot of clients that we have tuned that are running this setup. Our main goal is to make sure nobody hurts their engine. And if you are experiencing a problem and maybe you don't know what's going on, and maybe you take it to a shop that's not experienced in the performance aspect world, and they're trying to diagnose other areas, maybe this will help you. That's all that this video is about. Once again, I will make it 100% clear. We are not bad-mouthing another company. We will not tolerate that in the comments either. We are just trying to make sure nobody does damage to their engine. It's that simple. So hopefully this video was informative. If you were having some problems and you wanted to reach out directly to me, our email is rcautoworks@gmail.com. We will keep everything private. We would like to know if more people have been affected by this. And as I was saying, we've had about a handful already in a 2-month period. And if you're watching this video, please look at the upload date. If you're watching it a year from now or 2 years from now, this might have been addressed by the company itself. We've been trying to get a hold of them, letting them know exactly what we're seeing and finding. Some customers have been too. Yeah, that's about it. So if I have any updates, I will include them. I will do another follow-up video. And that's about it. Hopefully this video helps you. Thanks for watching.